Welcome to part 2 of my tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to make the body and these embellishments. So to begin, we're going to do 8 single crochets into a magic circle. So you're going to lay the yarn across your hand, wrap it around, pinch it under that thumb, go under, wrap that around, kind of twist it, pinch. Okay, so now we're going to be working into this loop, this magic ring. We're going to go underneath both of these strands when we're doing our stitches. So we're going to start by chaining 1. Alright, now it's time to do 8 single crochets into this loop. Go into the circle, wrap it around, so we're right there, wrap it around, pull through. There's 1. Another single crochet, go into the loop, wrap it around and pull. You've got 2 on the hook. Wrap it around and pull through 2. So we've done 2 single crochets. We're going to keep doing that until we have 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to pull that over, and we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch there, underneath the 2 loops. Wrap it around and pull through, and pull through. You don't get the loop for a slip stitch. Alright, and that's the magic circle. So you're going to pull that nice and tight. Okay, so for the next round, this is what we're calling round 1. We're not counting the magic circle as a round. Alright, so for round 1, we're going to increase into every other stitch, which means 2 single crochets. That's in the same stitch. That's called an increase. So our first stitch is going to be just 1 single crochet, and then in the next one we'll do 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. So we're going to chain 1. Going to go into that next stitch. Just going to do 1. Alright, now in this next stitch we're going to increase. So we're going to do 1. Oops. Sorry, my yarn got messed up. Here we go. Okay, so we're going into that next stitch. We're just doing 2 single crochet in that stitch. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, so we're rotating. So now in the next stitch we do just 1. Next stitch we'll do 2. One. 2, 1, and last stitch. There we go. 2. So if you count your stitches going all the way around, you should have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to slip stitch into this first stitch here. And that's the end of round 1. So let's go ahead and chain 1. And for this next round, we are repeating what we just did, so we're just increasing in every other stitch. So make sure you're not going into this same stitch, we're just going into this next one. So we'll do 1 stitch, the next one we'll do 2, 1 and 2, and we're just going to keep rotating that pattern, 1 and then 1 and 2, so increase in every other. So keep doing that all the way around, and I'll meet you right here at the end. Alright, so we made it all the way around, a total of 18 stitches. So we're going to slip stitch into this first stitch right here. Okay, and that's the end of round 2. So now for rounds 3 and 4, we're going to follow this same process. So we'll chain 1, and now you're going to be doing the increase, so 2 single crochets in that stitch, and every third. So you'll do 1 single crochet here, 1 single crochet here, and then in the next stitch, that third one, you'll be doing 2 single crochets. So let's start with the first one. 1, next stitch, 2. Now we're going into the third stitch, so we're going to do an increase, 2 single crochets in that stitch. 1 and 2. So just repeat that pattern, okay? 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets all the way around. You should have 24 stitches. Then you'll slip stitch here, and then you'll do another round of increasing in every third after that. So finish this round and then go ahead and go on to the next round. So we're doing rounds 3 and 4 right now, increasing into every third, and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. Okay, so we just did rounds 3 and 4 doing the increase in the third stitch, so single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So here we have we've done 32 stitches all the way across. I'm just doing my last increase. 1, 2, so now it's 32 stitches in that round. We're going to slip stitch to join. And that's the end of rounds 3 and 4. So now for round 5, we're going to increase in every 4th stitch. So we're going to chain 1. So now we're going to do a single crochet in that first stitch. So 1, go to the next stitch, single crochet, 2, next stitch, single crochet, 3, and then in this 4th stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets for our increase. 1 and 2. So 3 single crochets and then your increase. So in every 4th stitch you're doing the increase. We'll do that one more time. So 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, and then in this 4th stitch 2 single crochets. So continue that pattern all the way around and I'll meet you here. Okay, so we finished round 5 doing the single crochet into every 4th stitch. Now we're going to slip stitch at the end, and that's the end of that round. So now for rounds 6 through 14, so you're going to be doing 9 rounds. You're just going to be doing a single crochet into every stitch. So right now you should have 40 stitches, and you're just going to do a single crochet into every stitch, and then it'll start to take shape. So I will meet you at the end of round 14. So you're just going to, after you slip stitch, you'll chain 1, you'll do a single crochet into each stitch all the way around. You should have 40 stitches in each of these rounds, and you're doing that for a total of 9 rounds. So round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. You may want to actually just keep like a little paper and like tally them off as you're going. I find that helpful sometimes, because sometimes it can be hard to keep track of the rows if you're just counting them back. So go ahead and do that, doing a single crochet into every stitch for 9 rounds, rounds 6 through 14, and I will meet you at the end of that. Okay, welcome back. So you just finished doing those 9 rounds of the 1 single crochet into each stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to replicate this side by doing decreases. The same way how we were increasing here, we're going to be doing decreases on this side to make it round. So we're going to start by chaining 1. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a invisible decrease in every 4th stitch. So the last round that we did before we did the single crochet, we were doing an increase in every 4th stitch. Now we're going to be doing decrease. So here's how that is going to work. So right now we have 40 stitches. We're going to be going down to 32. So to start, we're going to do a single crochet into this first stitch. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, so we've done 3, so now we're going to do our decrease. So to decrease, an invisible decrease, go into the front loop of that first stitch, front loop of the next stitch. That's how we're going to decrease. So we're turning those 2 stitches now into 1 stitch. We're going to pull through the 2, wrap it around and pull through 2. So that's 1 invisible decrease. So we're going to repeat that pattern. So 1, 2, 3 invisible decrease. So now back to 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, and then invisible decrease. So in front loops, both of those front loops on, pull through 2, wrap it around, pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, and then invisible decrease. Front loop, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. So repeat that pattern all the way around and I'll meet you there. So we're ending on an invisible decrease. With those 2, round, pull through 2, slip stitch to join that first stitch. Okay, and we've made it all the way around. So for the next round, we're going to, again, just kind of, we're doing like mirror image of this. So now we're going to do the invisible decrease in every 3rd stitch. So chain 1, go to that first stitch, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2. Now we're doing our 3rd. Okay, so we do 2 single crochets, and then the 3rd stitch, okay, we're doing the invisible decrease. So we're going to that stitch and the next stitch, front row, front strands, pull through those 2, wrap around, pull through 2. So we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. 1, 2, front loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. So continue that pattern and I'll meet you at the end. So I ended on the invisible decrease. I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch, and that's the end of that round. So you can see it's starting to close up. So for our next round, we're repeating what we just did in this previous round. We're going to chain 1, go into this first stitch, 1, next stitch, 2. Now in the 3rd stitch, we're going through those front 2 loops, wrap it around, pull through 2. So repeat that pattern all the way around. 1, 2, front loops. So continue to do that and I'll meet you at the end. So we're ending on invisible decrease, through, slip stitch to join. Okay, so now is a good time to stuff this body. So we're going to start by putting just a small amount of the polyfill right there. The polyfill. Start by putting just a small amount, not too much, Just kind of coating the bottom a little bit. And then we're going to put in some of our pellets. Here are the pellets. And the reason why you don't have to add the pellets, but they add just a little bit of weight to it. And it'll also help, especially with something that's round, it'll help it sit the way that you want it to sit. So we just put a little bit of filling here in the bottom. If your stitches are quite loose, you're going to want to put this, sew like a little packet and put these in and then stitch it closed. You can also use like a baby sock. Totally up to you. This is a tight enough stitch that it should be fine, but that's an option if you'd like. You don't want any pellets possibly coming out at all. Funnel is not mandatory either, but it just makes it a lot easier. So we're going to grab a handful of those pellets and just slide them in a little bit. And you'll see they'll kind of get stuck, so you just kind of raise it up and help it go down in there. And then you just kind of pack it in the way that you'd like. I'm going to do another handful. If you want, you could actually fill the entire thing with just these little pellets. But I personally would add have most of it be the fluff, just because it helps it stay nice and cozy. So okay, we added those pellets. We're kind of working, hoping to have them mostly in the bottom to just kind of help it weigh it down a bit. Okay. So after you've added the amount of the poly pellets that you'd like, you can continue to stuff it with the poly, the fiber fill. And you don't want to overstuff it. If you overstuff it, then it'll start to make the holes larger. So you want to do your best to kind of keep it just try not to over stuff it, but you still want it to be full, certainly. So this is a good start. All right, I'm liking the way that that's looking. You just kind of move it around. I'm gonna move that loop so I don't accidentally drop that stitch. Okay, that's looking good. I'm gonna add just a little bit more, and you can always add, you know, a touch more right before you close up if you feel like it still needs some more. For now, I think this is going to be good. So now we're going to decrease into every other stitch. So we're going to chain one. Go in that first stitch, one. The next stitch, we're going to do our decrease. So go into that front loop of the next stitch. Pull through, wrap around and pull through. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around. And I find that it's best just to kind of hold this secure, and also don't be afraid to just kind of crochet here right along. So we're going to do our decrease next. So you're rotating that decrease and that one single crochet all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. Another handy trick is to use one of your fingers to kind of push in the stuffing while you're working on it. Or you can always take out some stuffing and then add some in after this next round. So I'm ending on a invisible decrease. Pulling that through, slip stitch to join. And that should be 12 stitches. So now's a good time if you're going to add any more stuffing, get it in there. But for the most part, you're going to be able to kind of move things around within it. I do want to stuff mine just a little bit more though. Okay, that's nice. Okay, and make sure that it's really filling all the sides. Add just a little bit more. Again, being careful not to overstuff it, but we still want it to be plenty sturdy. Okay, and we'll be able to still kind of move things around and after we're done. So now we're going to repeat exactly what we did in this last round. We had 12 stitches in this last one. Now we're going to be going down to 8. So we'll chain 1 single crochet, and then do the invisible decrease. One single crochet, invisible decrease. This is where it gets a little bit tricky just because you don't have quite the same range of motion as you normally do when you're crocheting. One single crochet, invisible decrease. One single crochet, and our final invisible decrease. And then slip stitch, pull through. Okay, so now that you've slip stitched, you can pull this out. And now we're going to attach our tapestry needle. All right, so you're going to attach your tapestry needle. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of work our yarn around these stitches. So you're just kind of wrapping around and going through, wrapping around and going through. And you can pull through. And then if you've still got more, you can keep doing it around, wrap around, and pull through. And what's that's doing is that's actually kind of imitating the magic circle that we did on this end. So it doesn't quite look the exact same, but it looks quite similar. And then here you can just kind of work it in a few different spots. And then I would probably hide that back here. And I'll just bring it through. And then here I'm just going to snip it very, very close so that that strand works its way just into the center. So you can move that ball around a bit. And now your body is ready to go. And you'll see that where you put the weight, it's going to, if you roll it, it'll find its way to that spot. See that? And that's just going to be helpful to help BB-8 stay upright. So now I'm going to show you how to make the embellishments and then how to stitch them on. So depending on how large your ball is when you stuff it, you may want to change up how you do this embellishment here. So these are all using a very similar pattern, this one, and this one here. But you'll notice that they are different sizes. This one measures at about, let's see here, about 2 inches even. This one measures at about 2 1/4, and this third one measures at about 2 1/2. Now the reason for that change, the only thing that changes in this pattern is the center. So if you decide, maybe you didn't stuff this ball very much, and or you like the look of having these a little bit more of the white space, you're going to want to start with the single crochet in the magic circle when we begin here. If you want it larger, you're going to do a double crochet, and if you want something in between, you'll be doing the half double crochet. So as I continue on with this pattern, just keep that in mind. For your first, this magic circle, you're going to change that up depending on the final size that you want for this embellishment. I'll provide a link in the video description below. I found a really great photograph that shows all 6 of the sides of the actual BB-8. I didn't depict all of them here, and you're welcome to just pick one and do that one over and over and over again, or maybe pick 3 and make just 2 of each of those 3 to make the 6. It's totally up to you. This is kind of where you get to let your creativity shine. I'm going to show you just the basic pattern of how to make this circle here, and then changing the orange with the white or orange with the gray. You can substitute whatever colors you'd like. But this is the same pattern for all of these, and then you can just customize it with the colors and things like that to get the look that you want. So here is how we do these embellishments. I'm going to lay the yarn across your hand. Again, we're doing another magic circle. You should be a pro at that by now. But if you're not, that's okay. I'll show you. Okay, so you lay it across your hand, pinch it under that thumb, wrap the yarn around, so you've got this X underneath that thumb. You're going to put your hook under, wrap that yarn around, twist a little bit, pinch. Okay, now we're going to be working into this circle. So we're going to start by chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3, and now we're going to do 11 double crochets into this circle. So we'll have the chain and then 11 double crochets. So for a double crochet, you wrap the yarn around, go into the circle, wrap it around, so now you've got 3 on your hook, wrap it around, pull through 2, now you've got 2 on your hook, wrap it around, pull through 2. That is a double crochet. Now if you decided that you wanted the center to be a little bit smaller, I'll show you quickly how to do a half double crochet. If you're doing the double crochet, just wait here. Don't do this half double crochet with me. I'm just demonstrating for people who want to do the half double crochet. So for half double crochet, you wrap the yarn around, go into the loop, pull it through here, so now you have the 3. For double crochet, you go through 2 and then you go through 2. For a half double crochet, you've got the 3 here, you wrap it around and you just pull through all 3. So whichever one you decide that you want to do, if you want the smaller center or the larger center, then do that. I'm doing the larger. So I've done 1 double crochet, I need to do 10 more for a total of 11 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we've got our chain 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now you're going to pull this thread here to pull it so that it closes. And you're going to slip stitch into this first stitch here, or the top of that chain. Okay. So that is that. Okay, so after you slip stitch, it's time to start our next round. So you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and for this round we're going to be doing half double crochet. If you'd like your embellishments to be bigger, then you can do a double crochet. These are all using the half double crochet for that that next round. So I'm going to be doing the half double crochet now. So we chain 2, and you're going to be going into this stitch right here, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that stitch. So for a half double crochet, you wrap the yarn around, go into that stitch, pull through. Now you have 3, wrap it around, pull through all 3. So there's 1 in that stitch. We're going to do 2, wrap it around, go back into that same stitch, wrap it around, pull through 2, oh sorry, all 3. Pull through all 3. All right, so now it's time to change colors to orange. So we tie a knot, slide the knot down, okay, we're going to wrap that yarn around, pull through, oops, there we go, pinch, pull that white down. Make sure you're pulling the right white, not the little center there. Okay. So now you wrap that yarn around. We're going to go into this next stitch. We're going to do a half double crochet into that stitch. Wrap it around and pull through. So there's 1. Wrap it around, go back in that same stitch. 2. So for this round, in every stitch, we're doing 2 half double crochets into each stitch. So now we switch colors, change colors back to white, wrap that white around, pull through, pinch, pull that orange. Okay, into our next 2 stitches, we're doing 2 half double crochets. So there's 1 and 2. Go to the next stitch, 1 and 2. Pull that orange nice and tight, and then pull the orange over, keeping it loose behind. You don't want to pull it tightly or else it'll bunch your yarn like that. So just kind of pull it over gently, wrap that orange around, pinch, and pull that white. So now we're back to orange. So wrap it around, go into this next stitch, pull through 2, wrap around, back in that same stitch, pull through 2. Change to white, wrap around and pull through, pinch, wrap it around, go into the next stitch, wrap it around into that same stitch, pull that orange on it, there we go. Next stitch, do 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Switch colors back to orange. Pinch. Wrap it around. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. Your yarn will kind of start tangling a little bit, but that's okay. Wrap it around, pull through, pinch, pull that orange. Now we're back to white. Half double crochet in the next stitch. Another one, so 2 half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. Alright, change to orange. Wrap it around, pull through, pinch, pull that down. wrap around into the next stitch, pull through 2, wrap it around back to that same stitch, pull through 2. Okay, now you would think that you're gonna connect here, but actually we're going to, so this first bit, we're counting this chain as a stitch, and it needs to become a double. Okay, so two half double crochets in that stitch. Right now there's just one if we're counting that as a stitch. And here around we'd see that we've got the pair, 2, 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Right now this is 2 and 1, so we're going to turn this into 2 and 2. To do that, we're going to change back to white, pinch, pull, wrap it around, and now we're going to insert our hook right here into that little space. And what that's going to do is it's going to make that chain look like we've done 2 half double crochets in that stitch there. So now we slip stitch into that first stitch, pull through, and when you step back, it's this nice, perfect little pattern. Now you can follow this exact same pattern, okay, and change the center to gray, or do the center gray and one of these sections gray. You could do just 2 on the outside gray. So take a look at those pictures, that picture that I have linked in the bottom, and you'll have fun just kind of being creative with this. So, so now what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this around. We're going to switch to orange. So pinch, pull that down. We're going to chain 1. And now into every stitch around we're just going to do 1 single crochet. So just go ahead and go all the way around doing 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I will meet you right here. Okay, so we made it all the way around. We're going to slip stitch into this first stitch here, and you have finished one of your embellishments. Go ahead and just have fun mixing it up. Try a few of these different looks by changing the colors a little bit, or if you want, you could just do them all like this, which I think would also turn out very, very cute. So if you'd like to add some, one of my favorite patterns is this one right here, where you just add some stripes of gray there. So to do that, you'll just attach your tapestry needle, and then just going from the back side, you can do it however you'd like. You can come in here. Oops, got a lot in there. Come in there, do a stripe across, go back in the other side, do another stripe across. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun that you can do just with your tapestry needle to customize it the way that you'd like. Another fun idea could even be to stitch in, if you're making this for a child, stitch the child's name into it. Or maybe each one has like a letter of that child's name, and they can look at those letters. So have fun with this, be creative, but you're going to follow this exact same pattern. The only thing that you would change is, on that first row, maybe starting with gray, and then when you're changing colors, you can change, instead of white, you can change to gray, or you can do gray and white. The main thing that just has to stay the same in order to continue to look like BB-8 is just where the orange is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a bunch of these, and when I'm done with that, I will show you how to stitch them onto your BB-8. One other quick note, make sure that you leave lots of orange yarn, because that's what we're going to be using to stitch them on. So when you cut it off, you cut it there, you've already slip stitched through, and now you can just pull that all the way through. And now this is ready to be stitched on, and you already have this attached. So as you're setting them aside, leave a nice long tail on that orange. So now that you have all of your pieces finished, it is time to stitch it all together and piece this BB-8 together. So these are the 6 that I ended up making. This is the small size because this ball ended up smaller. I feel like I understuffed it a bit, but I still think it's gonna turn out cute. So so for this, I'll show you here. These are all evenly spaced all the way around. Okay, so if you go on this axis, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if you turn it on this axis, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 6 total. You're gonna place the first one here, even, and actually this side might be a little bit easier to see, over this circle here, this center. So pick 2 that look similar. If you made some that are similar, you're gonna wanna have each of those on both ends just so that they're not right next to each other. So for me, I'm gonna do this one. Or, yeah, do that one. So you're going to attach your tapestry needle. I'm sorry, this stuff might be distracting, so I'm just gonna shove that aside. Attach your tapestry needle. Oops. Okay. And you left these tails long, which is going to be really helpful. So you'll place that on where you like it, and then you're just going to stitch it in. Going to go in and then back up. Okay, fairly close to where you inserted your hook. Now if you want to have kind of a patchy look, you could actually go out here on the white and then bring it across like that, and that would make it look kind of more patchwork, and that would also be a really cute look. If someone ends up doing that, send me a picture. I'd love to see your take on this pattern. So this is how I just personally chose to stitch it in. I stay on the orange, and as I go in, I kind of come in with the needle instead of out, just because I don't want the orange to kind of sneak out onto this. I don't really want to draw attention to the stitches. So that is why I'm doing it this way. So you just keep going around. If you wanted these even more raised, you could put some stuffing behind them if you wanted them to kind of pop out a little bit. But that's totally up to you. Just keep working this in, going all the way around. Okay, I think we're just about done. Do one more good stitch. Okay, so as you're coming here to a close, I'm gonna bring the hook, this needle through here, and you can kind of tie a slight knot from the outside. Okay, you don't want to draw a lot of attention to it, so make sure that you're doing it over orange, and that's just to make sure that that stays nice and secure. So there's that little knot in there, and then you're gonna push this through and then bring it back over onto another area where it's orange. You see that right there. So bring it through, and then you're going to snip it as close as you can, and then just kind of do that. So that is how you stitch them on. So now what you'll do is you'll attach it, the next one here. So it'll be like that. Then you'll attach one between the two on this side, evenly spaced, and then one between the two on this side, okay? And then you'll fill this space with one evenly spaced and fill that one with one evenly spaced. If you prefer, you could attach them all up front and just kind of pin them on, but it works just as well just to put them on in that order. So one here, one there, and then you fill the two empty spaces. So do that and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I just finished. Snip that off. And we've got our ball. So what I recommend doing, if you put the pellets in, you're going to kind of roll it a little bit and see where it naturally settles. Okay, and that is how you're going to decide where you're going to attach this head. Okay, so on this one it was here. Okay, this one seems to be settling about here. You could probably also turn it on some of these other axes. So just kind of play around with it to decide where you'd like the head. You can decide if you want it like here centered, like that. Okay. It's totally up to you. So let's see here. I'm going to attach it right here, I think. Let's see what I make. So I decided where I want it. So you're just going to hold it in there. You've got this already attached. You're going to insert your hook, okay, into the white underneath where you'd like it to go. And then you can actually go ahead and pull this back a little ways just so that you can see it better. Okay. And you don't have to pull it totally tight yet. You can just kind of wait for a second. Work that hook in back here. Stitch in there. Go back into that close to where you just were. And through. And then do another nice little stitch in here. Okay. And now you're going to go ahead and pull all of this tighter. Okay, so that will still leave it fairly loose. See how it kind of bobbles around? Okay, so we don't, at least I don't want that. If you want that, then great, you can do that. Okay, now I'm just going to go in, kind of bring it here close, and I'm just going to work some stitches around the sides all the way around. Okay, so I'm going in kind of here and working that into the body so that the head stays put a bit better. So secure that however much you'd like to. I still want that a little bit more secure. Okay, once you feel that it is, oops, don't want that there. Just undo that. So once it's as secure as you'd like it, you'll just tie it off. You can do just a small little knot. And then insert the needle through the back on the gray, so it's still coming out through the gray. And then you're just going to snip that as close to that as you can. And we've finished our BB-8. So size difference, okay, and that's just because I understuffed this ball a bit. And then for these I did the smaller embellishments, and this one I did the large embellishments. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more tutorials like this. Also, I'd love to see a picture of your final product, so check me out at HanDIY Tutorials on Facebook and share a picture. I'd love to see your work. Stay tuned for some more great tutorials. I'll see you later.